On.
Okay.
So I am in YouTube. Let me go to my channel. Here we go. Okay, it says that we are live. All right, cool. So, yeah. Oh, that's a delay.
Is it?
Well, I think it is on YouTube. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. So because I already started recording, YouTube is gonna
Right.
whoever clicks on, they're on. Are they gonna catch it like from the beginning? Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut down YouTube on my computer and I'm gonna bring it up on my phone because I don't want to keep hearing that shit in my ear.
Yeah.
So if you are on, actually, you know what? I could just do this. Let me bring it back to YouTube. I'll just turn the volume down on the video. That
There
way
you go.
I can kind of switch between this screen and YouTube.
Yeah.
I wonder what the delay is for. I wonder if it's like for FCC purpose. You know how FCC got a 5 second delay or whatever.
I guess.
So, all right, and hopefully we'll get some people in here. I'm gonna go ahead and share. Let me see if I can find the page. See if I can share the link on my face. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So join us live right now.
Right now.
And then I will tag you and Crystal. Crystal and Keenan. All right, cool. So now that's going on. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go ahead and just share it to, I guess, Instagram. I ain't going to put it on Instagram because ain't nobody watching, so whatever.
I don't give a shit. They'll follow me.
Yeah, they'll follow. That's fine. All right. So let's go ahead and turn this down and get started.
Yeah, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturnus, and I am here with my bro,
Kin folk, and we are.
Super Hadnot Bros, and we are a podcast about nothing because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about any and everything.
Goddamn right.
Let's say I think you got like a 2 second delay too, but we'll make it work.
Yeah. I'm catching it. It is what it is. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Trying to get over this little cold, bro.
You still not feeling good?
I mean, I ain't feeling bad. I ain't got the vid or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just a little cold.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cough out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see Joe done entered the building. What's going on, Joe?
What's happening, Joe?
Um, for all y'all who don't know Joe, me and Joe used to work together, man. And man, real cool dude. You know what I mean? He used to be my supervisor at the old company I used to work at. And he's
Man.
probably he's probably part of the reason why I'm probably batshit crazy at this point in my life, because that was a very difficult time in my life. But we used to do this thing where we used to do this and go, well. And so I see
Wow.
he actually just put it in the comments. So shout out to Mr.
Yeah.
Joe Jones. But man, what's your week been like?
Oh man, it's going to work, fighting with this cold, out in the elements, you're flooded, tornadoes and whatnot. Shit. normal?
Wasn't that crazy? Like that just kind of came out
Yeah.
of nowhere with those tornadoes and all that stuff, man. Like you know what was crazy was that day I didn't know we was gonna get that kind of weather. Like I remember checking the weather app and it was just like, oh yeah, it's raining. And so even within then, like I went out there and went to work and everything seemed to be okay. And so
Yeah.
I went to work, we did our photos or whatever. After I got done, dude, it was like coming down like crazy. So I was on my way home. Well, actually, I was supposed to go meet another client to go check out this venue that he wanted to show me because he was getting ready to take pictures for his birthday or whatever. So I had to call him and be like, bro, this ain't gonna happen because
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The clouds are like mad dark. But
It's like
it was so
goddamn
crazy.
tornado out here.
Yeah. So when I was driving, man, I was looking down ahead and like I swear to God, it was like looking into the abyss, man. It was so dark down there. It was just like, nah. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it. But man, it took me about an hour and a half to get home because of that old crazy ass weather. And then I heard that a tornado had touched down in Deer Park. So it was just like,
Yeah, it tore up
dang, you
all kind
know?
of stuff out there, man. Orange.
Yeah.
They had a couple of them, man. Always put out the road was tore up. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, nah, that wasn't a good look, man. But and then on top of that, we got this old cold ass weather. So
Right. But
so it
you
was just
know,
like, what the fuck?
thank God, God told me to go and check and see what it was looking like outside because I was in the house chilling and I was just listening to the rain, watching TV, and I just was like, got up, opened the door, and I saw the water like damn near to the front porch, like all the way damn near to the step. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that's kind of high. And then it registered.
Yeah, yeah.
Goddamn dogs outside. So, so I had to run out there and go get them. So Puppy, he's sitting there, water to his chest.
And just chilling.
Yeah, no. He was shaking his ass off. But
Yeah.
I went and rescued him, got him up out of the water and whatnot. So then I go get Isis, her big ass. She get out, she want to play and prance around and swim and all that shit. So she got filthy and whatnot, but I
Yeah.
got him up out of there. But it's close. The boy
Yeah.
wouldn't have made, man.
Well, I'm glad that you was able to save the puppy. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing. So you got anything you want to talk about today?
I did have some crazy stuff and whatnot. So,
Okay.
so you ever wonder how it's funny when people get caught up when they don't
Talk,
mean it? They get caught up in
what
like the
you
most fucked up ways.
like how?
Almost anything. It don't matter. But they just get caught up because of something they did, and some unfortunate thing happens to where they get caught later, right?
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of people don't. It's just funny when you hear, but a lot of people hear about these stories and whatnot. And there's one, this woman, man, they fall in love, get married, and had a little bachelorette party. Everybody having a swell time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the wife decides she's just gonna have a grand old time. And so,
Okay.
they got the strippers over there. They slinging, swinging everywhere, dancing, grinding
They
on.
playing helicopter and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They whipping it in her face and whatnot. And then they just lay it across her forehead. And, they was just doing all of this shit, right? Having a good time. She might have, kissed it a few times. Who knows? Yeah, that's their business.
Yeah.
But she woke up the next morning, face swole, eyes puffy, face swollen, cheeks all over the place. And everybody was like, what happened? She was like, I can't get married. What's wrong? Got crabs in my face. Okay. How do you explain that shit to the man that's about to marry you?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
that wedding ain't happening, fam. That wedding ain't happening at all.
So it's
Okay.
just funny when stuff like that happens when people get caught in these circumstances and whatnot, and it's just weird, right? So,
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say what's crazy about that is that whenever people get ready to get married, right, and they have bachelor parties and all this other stuff, like it's already expected that you're gonna have, strippers and stuff like
Right,
that going on. So I'm pretty sure like the man to be knew just that much, you know what I mean? Just that much that strippers were just gonna be there.
right.
But when you
That's like,
when
look,
you start
that's
getting
enough. That's enough right
and,
there.
and,
Just
and, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. It may be even a little bit expected that they may play a little grab ass during the strip bachelor party. It's your last night
okay,
being single, get all your shit out while you can before you go walk the aisle. But
okay, yeah.
but when it gets to the point to where schlong hit you all in the face and you get crabs in the face and all in your eye and shit like that, that's really kind of hard to take in when you got to explain that. You know what I'm saying? When you
She
got to
got to
be
explain
explained
this
to
to
you.
her. She got to explain this to her husband to be, her parents, his
Right.
parents, friends, these people who paid all this money to be a part of the wedding. She got to pay for all of this shit, right? She got to
Yeah.
talk. She got to tell everybody. So that's embarrassing enough, right?
Yeah.
Then there's another story. This
So
woman.
is it the same people?
No. It's just these
Okay.
fucked up situations that people find themselves in and whatnot. And the way they get caught is kind of hilarious to me or whatever. So
Yeah.
this dude or whatever, mashing his wife, everything's fine. And she kept having these cramps in her stomach, but they kept saying she wasn't pregnant, didn't know what the fuck was going on. And the pain started getting real bad and intensive. And they tried to figure out what was going on. So they had to go inside this woman to see what was going on. She had a moth in her vagina. A moth.
Okay, so how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Because the only way that's gonna happen, her husband was what?
Husband was cheating, and he was messing with some dirty chick outside. Got moth eggs in his peen and shot it into his wife.
So he was outside when it happened.
Yeah.
Okay, but even then, how does a moth lay eggs without you being able to feel that?
Hey, it was in her belly. Well, not in her belly. It was in her vaginal cavity.
I guess it happens.
I'm saying, I don't know, bro. It's a moth in there. Bro. That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
That's definitely grounds for divorce.
Divorce,
but a funny divorce, right? A funny divorce because it's like,
how do you explain?
It's like I'm not even thinking about the okay. So in that case, I'm not even thinking about the conversation between the husband and wife, right? Like she found out she had a moth and all that stuff in her, huh?
Why not?
No, because that's not where the funny
conversation they gonna have, bro.
No, see, you're not letting me finish. That's not where the conversation gets funny. The conversation gets funny when it happens in court, when the divorce is going on, because they got to ask why you got divorced and all this, that you got to be in detail and all that. So like now he got to be like, had a moth in my dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you know what I'm saying? Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking outside happens.
That you know what, Joe? That is one way to get rid of that. He said she needs
some mothballs up there.
She need to put some mothballs in there. You know what I'm saying? So that is smart, but how did she know she had moths in there? But it's just how
they had to look inside her. She was in pain.
Oh God, that's horrible.
So that's how he got caught.
Disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. He got caught in the strangest way. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's disgusting, man. Anyway, that's a hell of a story to tell whenever you got to go through divorce court. You know what I'm saying? The judge gonna, I can't imagine the judge or the lawyer, whoever's handling this case, the situation, right? Hearing this story and just not being like, you know what I'm saying? Just not laughing about it. Because you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about no shit like that. That's not shit that happen on an everyday, like your average divorce ain't happening on some shit like that. Like he just fucked around. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of fucked up. But
yeah, I mean, but I know a lot of people who find out stuff in the weirdest way. Like this guy went to go get this job. You know, they got to do your normal stuff, get your drug test on and shit like that. And 2 weeks after he did the drug test, he gets a phone call, and they was like, "Hey, unfortunately, you are not going to get this job." And he was like, okay. They was like, yeah. Your piss was clean, but we know it wasn't yours. And he was like, how? They was like, because you're pregnant.
Oh, okay. I've heard that one. I've heard about that one several times before. Because when
Yeah.
dudes they get them girls to pee for them or whatever,
Right.
and then they fuck
Right.
around. Yeah,
Ain't that a
I have
fucked up
heard
way
that.
to find out you got a baby on the way?
That would be a fucked up way to find out. Or you know what? Even be more fucked up. What if the baby wasn't even his?
That's a whole nother story. We'll go figure that out later on. Just at the moment, you just got to be like, God damn, I got to tell this bitch she pregnant.
Yeah. Well, babe. You know
what I'm saying? Now, whatever else happened depending on her reaction, to let you know if it was his or not.
That's true. Because she could be like, oh shit,
This nigga
because what if? Well, no, he could actually know before. Because what if he wasn't like really smashing like that? What if it wasn't his girl? What if I don't know. What if just they wasn't smashing?
Either way,
I'm just saying. I don't know. But anyway, that would be a hell of a way to find out that you're pregnant. Like to go to the drug test and just be like, nah, fam, you ain't getting it.
Yeah,
because this clearly ain't your piss.
It's a lot of ways people find out stuff in the most fucked up way, and I think that's kind of hilarious sometimes.
Maybe it's just a weird karma. I don't know. It's just fucked up. I guess.
I don't know. That's just. I don't think it's karma. That's just one of them. Everything in the dark come to the light. Just didn't know it was gonna come to the light like this.
That's true.
Yeah.
It happens, but I guess the whole mothball thing can kind of segue into what I really wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
Did you watch, first and foremost, did you watch the video?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay, good. Now we can go into it. So for all y'all watching right now, there was this video that I saw on YouTube, and it was about it's this African dude. He's a little Nigerian dude, but he be like getting on. He really talks about like social media, right, and how it's really kind of detrimental to our society, as far as like everything you see on Instagram is all about, the prosperous good times and so on and so forth, and but this particular video, he was actually talking about Instagram models, right? It's
right.
We all know the typical Instagram model is the one that it's the influencer.
Yeah.
They got like 100,000 followers, and
she's
they
not
all got like,
she's an influencer.
Yeah, she's an influencer, but they got like 100,000 followers. They got the long hair, pretty faces, and extra filters, and the plastic surgery and all that shit. Like what the world would deem as like very beautiful people, right? But what he was saying was
in real life.
Yeah, right. But it wasn't even just that. It was like what he was talking about was like, how they always be going on trip to like Dubai and all these like, luxurious exotic cities and all this other stuff where super rich people live.
Right.
He was like, why the fuck are they going over there so much? Like, what the hell is going on over in Dubai that all these Instagram models and influencers go over there so much? And so he was really getting into the nitty gritty of it all. Coming to find out, they was out there going to do sexual favors for all those men out there who was dropping like these big ass bags. You know what I'm saying? To get them to come out there just to be like their girlfriend for a week or something like that. Sexual favors
is like something that they wanted to do. Some of the sexual favors that they're doing is not something they really wanted to.
Well, okay, so I wouldn't call it. I mean, it's sexual favors, but I would call it more like a fetish,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because
they got
and that's what the meat of the conversation was about. Like the video was about was just like the sick things that they do to get the money off of social media, because it just be like, okay, well, you got all these followers, you got a lot of fans, you got all these people going on in it, and you're giving off the vibe that you're affluent. Hey, Becky, what's going on? Yeah, so they give off this image that they're like living the high life, right? Like,
right.
They're in these condominiums and high-rise buildings and all this other stuff. Come to find out, they're having conversations with people like on WhatsApp.com and all this other stuff, because these dudes are just like, hey, I think you're really pretty. I want you to hang out with me for the weekend, And so the girls just be like, okay, but why do you want me to come out there? And he'll just be like, man, I'll give you like, I don't know, 25 grand just to kind of hang out with me for the weekend. So that's already one red flag, right? I mean, as far as like the whole situation, I ain't gonna talk about the girls because the girls clearly be into it. But then he'll be like, I want you to dress up like a baby. And I want you to wear a pacifier in your mouth. And I want you to wear a bib. And I want you to act like you're 12. It's like all this weird shit. But what they do is the crazy thing about it is that they get the bag, right? And then once they get the money, they create all this crazy content and all this other stuff. And then they put it on their page as if they're just doing like the regular going on tourism tours and shit like that.
The pictures don't show none of the people or nothing. It's just them in wherever they are. So people just see that and they thinking like, oh, they living their best life.
They out there getting it. Right. But here was the thing that the dude said in the video. I can't remember this guy's name. I think it's like Tundi Funny or something like that.
Yeah, something. But I couldn't remember, but yeah, something like that.
What he said that really made a lot of sense, and I don't know how I didn't put all this together, was that a lot of times when you go to their pages, they be like, hey, if you want to book me at this email address. And he was like, okay, but what the hell are you booking them for? Because they don't sing, they don't rap, they don't dance, they don't do none of this stuff. So what are you booking for? And I'm sorry, like I see that these influencers got like all these big followers and stuff like that, but are they really making these kinds, like, are they making like appearances at clubs and stuff? Because you know how celebrities and shit be doing, where they get paid to like make an appearance at a club or something like that. Like, right. What they getting booked for? So that's what the whole thing was like. It was just like, okay, you emailing me, you getting booked, but what are you getting booked for? And that's what they're getting booked for, is to go over there and go do those crazy ass, to get shat on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that goes is the question is that basically like legalized prostitution?
Yeah. I mean, they ain't no other way to look at it. That's why I say when people say influencers, they're not prostitutes, they're influencers. But that's pretty much what they're doing. They selling their body to get shat on and just to show pictures that they was in Dubai. And hey, if that's cool to them, go for it. But you still got to clean that shit up.
But the craziest thing about it to me at the end of the day is that I think that the bottom line to it all is that is it not only is it prostitution, but is it also like the biggest clout chaser in the world? You know what I mean? So that's like to be able to showcase that you went overseas. This is what you exchange for that photo, for that content, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just can't even imagine what they feel like and what's going through their mind, like when it's over with, and they be like, all right, go clean yourself up. And it's just like, what's going on through their head at that point?
Here's a towel.
Yeah. Go clean yourself up.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it can't be that bad if they going out there to go do that, because I mean, I get
it. Dog, I know people do stuff for money, but after it's done and you got that money and the shit people did to you, like, how do you feel after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, your conscience got to hit you at some point.
I'm pretty sure there's some people who may have some shameful stories that probably got away from that shit and realize how bad it is. But it's just like, I guess the whole thing is just like, what do people do basically for the gram, right? Like for
that's what
social media.
Booking that to claim for fame. Come on, Joe, you speaking that truth?
Yeah. No, he said booking that clam for the fam.
My bad. You did say that. That's not good. Not good.
But still, not like good. That's that. But I detect no lies. You know what I'm saying? I did. Essentially, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't.
That's the whole thing. When is it gonna stop, though?
I don't know, because we live in such an era now to where, I mean, I hate to say it, but social media has been weaved into like our society at this point. So it's just like,
it's not even about that. What I'm saying is, when is it gonna stop? Because they have women who went through all of this stuff and they come back and they feel disgusted. And then when they got a little older, now they can't get the trips for free no more. They can't do none of that. Surgeries then got botched. They look like shit. So now they want to come out and say, well, I did this and it hurt my feelings because I got shat on. and these other girls, they got new girls coming on Instagram and shit every day, and they still want to follow the same. They don't care when they hear that video. So how they gonna stop it? Who's gonna stop it?
I don't see it stopping anytime soon. I just think that shit like that would have to start at home. First and foremost, like stop looking at these girls as role models first and foremost. Like because it's not only just doing that, right? But it's also just the image that's being portrayed on social media. So, like I said, the extra makeup, the mad filters that they put on, the whole like this is what the standard of beauty is like, and this is you're being just be basically like selling the idea of like beauty alone can take you far in life, and that's like so far from the fucking truth. If you relying on your looks to take you very far, you're not gonna get too far at all because that shit gonna eventually go away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you're relying on physical beauty,
right? They only good for so much with certain people, and that's it.
Right.
You get all used up, and then shit. Now you ain't good for nothing.
But I think the worst thing about it all is that all of that stuff aside, right? All the fetish shit aside, just being able to do that to chase the clout, to be able to get followers, to rely on your looks, I feel like that, and we talked about it before, is that it sends a really, really, really bad message because there are girls on Instagram who do want to aspire to be like, they really aspire to be models. You know what I'm saying? Like truly want to go through the grind of like putting their face out there, do fashion shows and all this other stuff. But if you take a girl that's like 6 years old and she's seeing this and she's looking at those influencers, you know what I'm saying? You find out that these influencers doing all this crazy shit. That sends a horrible message to these little girls, man.
Yeah, man. But then if I want to cover up and say I'm an influencer, I'm not a role model, it's the same fucking thing. Shut the fuck up.
Man,
like, and people need to stop with this. Oh, I'm a celebrity. I'm not here to be your kid's role model. That's your place to do it in the house, bruh. Kids get influenced by everything outside.
And everything. Shit, not just kids. Joe talking about I see Madonna face right now. But he ain't lying. I mean, shoot, all of the Botox and what is it, collagen and all that shit that they put in their face and cheeks and nose, and it's just sending a bad message. It promotes the idea that I was actually reading this book today, listening to this book. I don't know if you've ever heard this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson.
Yeah. And
it's basically about like how we give too many fucks in life about too much shit. But there was a part where he said that if you aspire to be beautiful, you go on places like social media or you go look up like all these beauty strategies and stuff like that. And all you do when you look at it like subliminally, subconsciously or whatever, all you're really doing is saying, I'm not beautiful enough, so I need to do this in order to fit whatever that standard is. So it was just the craziest thing. And man, I just feel like it sends a bad message.
I don't think it's nothing like that at all. Because nowadays you got women's empowerment and they feel like it's a thing to just be a hoe, and that's women empowerment. But it's like they just want to do what the fuck they want to, and then they don't want to reap the consequences of it or whatever. So they just like to do this shit. And it's nothing else. Like, you can't convince them otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you're free to do whatever you want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, but deal with the consequences when they happen. Don't get mad if you're wearing a slut attire and I say, hey, slut. You can't get mad about that shit. Like, just, it is what it is, dog. That's what you promoting.
Nah, that's true. Because as like the Dave Chappelle special, Killing Them Softly, when he said that, I get it if you want to be sexually liberated, this, that, and the other. That's cool. Own that. Be with it. But just know, because I think he was like putting up a scenario where somebody was just like, if a girl was dressed like a slut or whatever, he approaches as such. She was just like, don't call me a slut. I'm not a slut. Don't label me a slut. And so he was like, all right, bet. Well, then I'm going to go dress up as a police officer, even though I'm not a police officer. When you come up to me and say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, cop, I could just be like, I'm not a cop. And I mean, it sucks that, and it sucks. I mean, it sucks that it has to get to that point. But when it comes to that kind of thing, well, it's just that when it comes to that kind of thing, you got to still realize that men and women are wired very differently, very differently. And I'm not saying that women should I don't give a shit how you dress or anything like that, right? That's your life. You do what you
Just
want to do.
deal
But
with the consequences. That's all I'm
here's the
saying.
thing: is just understand that there are consequences that comes with it. Whether you believe whatever the empowerment reasons that you believe in, that's whatever. But just know that society still thinks is conditioned to think a certain way. So you're still going to have to deal with the consequences that come with that. So if you're dressing very scantily clad, like, you know what I'm
But
saying,
how does
you're
walking
going to
down the
get
street with your
attention.
butt cheeks out empower you? Like, I'm not understanding.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just them being proud of their bodies. But here's what
And
I
be
say.
proud of it. You ain't got to show it to everybody.
This is what I say. I feel like those who are truly confident, I feel like those who are truly confident don't have to be very loud about it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You don't have to. Hold on, just say he said his wife just told him to turn it down because she's watching TV. He said, "I'm watching Super Hadnots." I told her y'all talking about her friends. That's fucked up, joke. But no, like, and it because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, and that's the whole idea of selling like the standards, right? Like, you got to be extra curvy and all this stuff. No, you ain't got to have all that to be considered beautiful and sexy and all this. You just got to be confident in yourself, and you ain't got
I'm
to,
just,
you know,
I'm
if you
just
want to
saying at the end of the
show skin, but
day,
you don't have to rely on that to say, hey, this is me being sexy. There's so many different ways you can do that without having to do that.
but why though? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, it makes no sense to be like, for me to feel empowered, I got to show my body. Like, me, I think I have a very nice set of balls. Just saying.
Yeah.
Do I flash them everywhere? Am I going around saying, "Hey, I'm empowered. Look at
Yeah.
these balls"? No, I'd go to prison.
That's those, but you know what? To be fair, and maybe I'm playing devil's advocate, but I think that's just one of those double standards, right? Because like, guys can walk around with their shirts off and nobody bats an eye. But if he does walk around with his balls out, everybody gonna be like, "Ugh, that's gross."
That's what
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying. Come
saying?
on, dog.
So it's just one of them type of things, man, where we haven't really socially gotten to a point to be able to accept it a certain way. But like I said earlier, men and women are wired differently because of the way we've been conditioned. When guys see that kind of stuff, they're going to direct their attention that way. It's just that's how we're built. That's how we're designed. We see that
Because
we're
anybody
gonna pay
though, if
attention.
somebody was walking down the street, you could be with your wife and you just chilling, and just a random naked person just start running down
Yeah, you're gonna
past
see
you.
it. You
Everybody's
can't
gonna be
help but
like,
pay
"What the
attention.
hell is that?"
You're gonna help but pay it. You can't help but pay attention. So
Yeah.
hey, you know, do what you do. But yeah, like you said earlier, just hey, the consequences are the consequences, and you just kind of have
Every
to
every
deal with it.
every man ain't built the same. That's all I'm saying. So even though it's a small percentage of men that go around and just like very grab ass and grab them by the
I'm about to
pussy,
say there is that percentage of guys who have no restraint.
right? But when you out there, most men are gonna take a gander. They gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then they gonna go about their business. But then they
Right.
got this small percentage of dudes that's gonna be like, "Hey, Ma, what's happening? What's up, slut? This and that." And then you can't get mad about that because you
Yeah.
brought that type of dude is out in the world, man. You got to be careful out here.
You gotta be careful. And that's the other thing is like safety is a thing. So again, there's guys out there with no restraint. You don't know who you're gonna come across out there. They see you like that, and then they, you know, not wishing it on nobody, but just think about the worst things that can happen. And unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. And you got to be able to either deal with it or just avoid it at all. But I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
mean, come
man.
on now.
I think,
I think most men normally when we walk outside the doors, we always be prepared for the worst thing possible.
yeah,
We
yeah,
already have it on our mind. It could be the dumbest thing in the world. Be like, all right, when I walk out here today, get in the car, as soon as I see an alien ship fly by, my game plan is to do this. So I'm already prepared for anything that's gonna
yeah,
go turn to the worst.
yeah, yeah. That's true. And everything we do in life is a risk anyway. Like there's no such thing as no risk at all. I actually talked about it on the last crackpot episode.
Yeah, I saw
where
it.
huh?
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is risky, man. Like you can go check the mail and get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying?
You
You don't
could.
expect it; it just happens.
Yeah, man.
So,
You know that
but
guy, this dude that was I don't know, Concord, man, and back there it's kind of got that windy road.
mhm.
Dude was on his bike and was just hauling ass, and I guess he lost control on that wine, and he flew off, and he went through somebody's house and landed on top of somebody.
See,
Killed
that's some
them.
crazy shit. But
Like
coming back to
that's
the
a weird
whole,
thing. The body flies into your house and kill you, bro.
yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, Jesus Christ, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just saying, things can happen, bro.
Things can't happen. But bringing it back to the Instagram thing, man, there was another thing that I saw they had posted up was like he was talking about the NBA groupies, man. I
Yeah.
didn't know that it got that deep
What you
to where
mean?
like there's like a hierarchy. There's
Yeah.
a hierarchy of them. You know what I'm saying? You got the
Yeah.
ones that be like parking lot pimping, and then you
Yeah.
got the ones that, you know what I'm saying, might jump in the DMs and try to get something
Yeah.
popping. Then you got the ones that go to the games to get those guys' attention. And then you got the top tier, like the ones that are like absolute, basically they became celebrities. Kim
They the ones
Kardashian.
they
You know
the
what I'm
one.
saying?
But yeah, she nah, not her in particular, but they have the ones that when you get to your room after the game, they in there.
They in there. So this is
They
what
got
they
access
do.
to the shit already.
What they do is they go to the NBA game, right? They already like got floor, like they close to the floor, already
Right.
close to the floor. So these guys can see these girls. And what they do is like in the middle of the game, they be taking like selfies and shit like that, be touching all on themselves, be trying to get those dudes' attention. And
Yeah.
that dude gonna, I mean, come on, we know how NBA players are for the most part.
Suckers. They some suckers.
They go once they get out that locker room, hey, let's go link up. But what happens is they get with the chick, right? If they enjoy themselves with the chick, like if it was a good experience for them, what they do is like every time they go to their city or whatever, they tell their team about it, and the girl get the team. And it was just like, oh my God, man. Like, but the whole thing about it is they do it because they try to trap those guys, which of course that ain't nothing new. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
athletes,
they gonna find a baby.
celebrities.
Some sucker go in there raw dog and give her a baby, man, and now she
It don't even be them raw dogging. It just be like poking holes in condoms and shit like that.
Yeah, but these soft ass niggas be out here raw dogging, man.
They could, but the fact of the matter is like
they be listening to Drake and they start raw dogging these hoes because they love strippers.
I guess, but maybe it's the year of the stripper. I don't know. But
I'm just saying, Drake made plenty of songs about how he shouted out like strippers, they real stripper names and whatnot, and made these hoes famous because he just liked strippers.
I don't blame it on Drake. You know who I blame it on?
No, don't do T-Pain like that, dog.
T-Pain.
Don't do that, man. That's my dog, man. Don't do that shit.
The nigga, he the one that claimed he fell in love with it. Fell in love with her. Yeah, exactly. That song was a shout out to strippers.
He did. He fell in love with the stripper. He just liked the bartender. So yeah.
Now, granted, I don't know. It's just art, but all I'm saying is, hey, if an artist is an artist, usually they creating an art based off of some life experience, right?
Yeah.
To a degree, because we did talk about R. Kelly a while back, and that was a whole different thing. But
whoa.
He did say that he fell in love with a stripper. And
Mr. Kelly?
Huh?
Mr. Kelly fell in love with a stripper?
No. Oh. Wait, wasn't he on a? Did he do a remix for that song?
Nigga did a remix for everything, bro. So I'm pretty sure. Probably.
I think he was on the "I'm in Love with a Stripper." Man, hold on, let me look this shit up.
I don't know. Kelly might have fell in love with the same girl.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing. We talking about strippers. Yeah. So
you got the song. They got the same girl.
But that was kind of a real song. that was kind of that joint was actually kind of real though, because
that shit jammed
it jammed, but if you listen to the lyrical content, it wasn't like they was happy about fucking with the same girl. They was just like describing a girl and just happened to be the same chick. Oh, absolutely, Joe. T-Pain, yeah, I know T-Pain can sing. He does not need auto-tune. He just happened to make auto-tune.
That's why they want you bringing him into this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Huh?
Said but Drake, yeah. Drake
no, you can't redirect the conversation.
Come on, man.
I'm not hating. Look, I'm not hating on T-Pain. All I'm
I
saying
get
is,
it. I know it ain't hate, but I just didn't want him involved in this.
well, T-Pain done got involved. God damn it, you done brought it up. You said stripper. You shouldn't have said stripper. We're gonna talk about it. T-Pain made strippers popular.
He did.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
he didn't call them by name. Drake out here, he making songs with their names in there, and now they famous strippers.
Yeah, probably, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, I agree. T-Pain can sing. I think he's talented. T-Pain can rap. He can freestyle, so on and so forth. T-Pain is an innovator, and a lot of times innovators always get the bad end of the stick, especially with him with auto-tune. Like,
hey man, that dude won the Masked Singer, bro, the first year.
oh, did he? I never watched that show.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I know they walk around wearing Halloween costumes and singing, and you figure out who's underneath.
You got to figure out who it is, yeah. But he won.
But
he won it without no auto-tune. You feel me?
Yeah, no, he's very talented. But the crazy part about auto-tune with T-Pain, I've seen the videos, man, that he didn't just go out there just to go use the shit. Like he actually learned what it was about. I think it was supposed to be like it's like a sort of sonic technology for like oil digging or something like that. He went and did all the research on that shit, and I guess he was just like, man, this shit would sound dope, like on a record. But because it was something so fresh and so new at the time that you know how niggas do, man. They gonna catch that wave, and then everybody just decide to do auto-tune. But I mean, truth be told, auto-tune ain't. I'm not gonna say auto-tune ain't nothing new. It was just a new technology for its time. But if you want to talk about shit like that, we could talk about Zappa Roger. We could talk about Teddy Riley. You know what I'm saying? With the talk box. You know what I'm saying?
We broke it down already.
Huh? Did we break that down already?
Yeah, man. Y'all go back to some of them old episodes and go check that out.
Yeah. If you're watching, go back to some of the old episodes. So absolutely. Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. T-Pain is the only artist that gets the auto-tune pass because he gave it to us. He was the one that made us aware of it. You know what I'm saying?
You know when I got sick of auto-tune?
When
Snoop did it.
Oh, Sexual Seduction?
Jesus. I hated that song. I still hate that
song. Snoop, this is how I feel about Snoop. First and foremost, let me say that I love Snoop. All right. I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan. I commend him for all of his accomplishments and all this other stuff. But one thing about Snoop, to me, honestly, is that I feel like he's become a bit of a parody of himself.
He's a crossover. Yeah, he's crossed over. He's done. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, going mainstream, that's cool. Do you think? He's
done, like he don't do nothing, but he's a one thing now. He's just every time people see him, everybody just want to see weed. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like people associate because he's been associated with weed so heavy that it's just like, oh, he's the weed guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like every time you see him, I feel and granted, I can't think for Snoop. I'm not Snoop. I'm just thinking in a sense like if somebody praises you, compliments you, and celebrates you for all the different things that you do, like the things that you do in this celebrity Hollywood world, it's like you feel like at this point you kind of have to ride on that in order to like, you know what I'm saying, carry yourself forward. So with Snoop being like the weed guy, it's just like, oh, every time I show up on stage or something like that, I gotta have a blunt or a joint or something.
He just have to be that dude. That's it. He can't do nothing else.
And granted, he may not be doing it. I'm just making a crackpot theory opinion type shit.
That's
you know
what it is now. Like if anytime they ask a celebrity somewhere and they may not even be a smoker, they'd be like, if you could smoke weed with anybody, everybody knows a setup just to say Snoop.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. I would. I would. But
I'm not trying to die, bro. I mean, it is what it is.
But I don't know if he'd be the first person I want to go smoke weed with.
I told you, I smoke with Devin the Dude.
I don't even want to smoke. Well, him too. You know who I want to go smoke weed with? George Bush. W. I want to go smoke weed with George Bush because I feel like.
Explain.
Huh?
Explain.
I just feel like he would have some great stories to tell. You know what I'm saying?
No, he can tell you without smoking weed, though.
Yeah, but I feel like it'd be a lot better if he did have the weed with him. Because I honestly feel like behind closed doors, he'd be like, yeah, You know, back in my day, like I feel like he would be on some shit like that, and he would take his hella stuff. You ever seen that movie W?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like loosely based on his life, but I kind of get a sense. I kind of get a sense that's really kind of what his personality is like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a party boy. He was a party boy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like, I would go smoke weed with George Bush. I want to go smoke weed with George Bush. I know that's crazy.
I'm just saying, I'd rather smoke with Devin the dude because he seemed like a cool ass uncle, man. He got a lot of stories. He got some game he could put on you and shit. And that dude is hilarious without even trying. It's just his voice, man. I'd sit there and talk to that dude all day and just be dying laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I smoke with Devin the dude. I mean, because he's so laid back. I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm saying, laid back.
Yeah, but I mean, but at the end of the day, if I got an opportunity to smoke weed with Snoop, I mean, I'd take like one puff and then be done with it because I know his weed be probably hella strong. But I smoke with Snoop, so
yeah,
I guess
you're right, Joe. We did go all over the place.
Say what?
We did go all over the place.
Did we go all over the place? That's what you get when you get super Hadnot bros. Goddamn it, we don't do nothing with no strategy around here. We just talk. Truth be told, man, for all y'all watching, you know, this is how we actually started this podcast. Is that when we have phone conversations, like what we're doing right now, this is how we talk on the phone. Like when we will call each other on the phone, we'll go on for hours talking about just a bunch of random ass shit. So that's when it went through my mind. I was like, shit, we need to do a podcast. So
I just said, all right.
yeah. He literally just said, okay, and just went with the flow. So that's how we got started with that. But yes, Joe, I have been talking about smoking weed with WC. I tell you, gotta go smoke weed with W, man, with the prez. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Well, I mean, I guess if I wanted to know shit like top secret shit, maybe. But I wouldn't want to find out while I'm high, though. I think that'll kind of fuck me up.
Oh, that would send you into a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like bad, because you know when you're on weed, your mind be thinking. Yeah, your mind be thinking about some crazy shit. You be thinking about the extreme worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that would be the best time to get the info out of them. Well, you know,
that's what I'm saying, to get the info out of them. But for me to receive it, I shouldn't be high. I wouldn't know how to handle that shit.
Dave Chappelle said it best on that same stand-up when he was talking about Monica Lewinsky and how she got caught up. He said that's what Bill Clinton fucked up. He got the wrong girl. He got a girl that was inexperienced, young, just happy to work with the president. You know what I'm saying? She got famous for like basically blowing the president.
No, he was like, I just want to know, after she did her duty, why she didn't go home and clean her dress, bro?
Middle of the
they used the dress as evidence, and it still had the stain on there. Did she just like, I'm never washing this dress again? Like, why did she not change and wash her clothes?
Hey, maybe she predicted eBay was gonna come out at some point and sell it on that motherfucker. I don't know.
No, man. I thought that was kind of weird. She's a horrible side chick, so it is weird.
Well, that's what Dave Chappelle was saying. He said if it was a more experienced side chick, you know, if you're gonna do this to the president, still, you're a woman. You got to realize the power you got. So if the president wants this to happen to him, okay, make him do something for you. And he was just like, you know, you should lower taxes. You know
I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. I just don't know why she didn't wash her clothes. Dirty. She just dirty.
I mean, maybe she was on some like, I mean, okay, I'm trying not to like sound weird here, but I'm trying to like put myself in her shoes, right?
You can't.
It's the president, you know what I'm saying? They call him the most powerful person in the world, which, whatever, he a puppet really, but he's the most powerful person in the world, right? To most people. Yeah. So she's walking around with the president's jizz on her dress. She just don't want to get rid of it. Like, think about it. She could tell her grandkids one day, you know, President Clinton.
I sucked off the president.
He jizzed on that dress right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could touch it.
Oh, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. That might be a little much. That one might be a little much about 911. I don't know, man, because I feel
But like
you remember Head of State?
the truth may kill you.
I was about to say, you remember the movie Head of State with Chris Rock, right?
Yeah.
Every time somebody said something, he would call security, and they were like,
and they just come out of
like,
anywhere. Yeah.
I feel like if I asked Bush about 9/11 or something like that, that's what
That's how
happened.
you go
Security,
disappear.
you know what I'm saying? So,
They even
I
did it
don't
on
know.
the plane.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we all know that it was conspiracy involved with that shit, you know. But I don't know, man. That's one. That's almost like asking a rapper about the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you don't want to touch that.
Well, they'll tell you. They just gonna say it to where they're gonna be like, okay, they're gonna be vague as fuck about it.
It was one rapper. I actually watched him on Expert Opinion. Did you see that episode with Smart?
Yeah.
Okay. He was one that was kind of like, fuck it. I'm gonna talk about it. But what was crazy about that whole thing was that
they kicked that nigga smooth off after that. He couldn't come back.
There was so much that they kicked him off. It was that they were trying to shut him up.
They didn't want him to talk no more.
Because he was talking, but he was like, man, they try to fuck you in the ass. And he said it so regular that it threw all of them off. They thought he was being funny. He was like, I'm not being funny. Like, I've seen this shit with my own eyes.
No. They knew he wasn't being funny. They was trying not to fuck up their chances, bro.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happened. I went into the comments, and that's what everybody was saying. It was like, oh man, Mathnim and all them, they are part of it because they were trying to silence them. But yeah, man, Smarts was like, nah, fuck this. This is what happened. This is what I saw. This is what these motherfuckers doing. The truth needs to get the fuck out there because this shit is some bullshit, you know. He was the only one I ever actually saw talk about it because everybody else was like, yeah, man, I done seen some shit, but I ain't touching that one. I ain't touching that one. So, but here's the crazy part about that Illuminati shit, right? Is that what are they doing that's so bad that they cannot talk about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it that it fucks with their money, but what's that bad that they can't go there with it? You know what I mean?
You make more money by being secretive, dog.
I get it, and I get it, but I just feel like this is how I feel about it.
They make all the influencers. They do all of this stuff. Anything that's what's happening right now, it's all part of the game plan.
I just honestly feel like a lot of stuff that they be saying, like, I don't think it goes to certain extremes. Like, I do feel like they be like probably mashing dudes or shit like that, whatever. But I'm talking about like the other shit, like sacrifices and drinking goat blood. And I don't think they doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
They're just talking about eating like placentas and shit.
That sounds a little extreme. I can't see it.
What do you mean? Dog, you can look this shit up. They talk about they have chefs that make dishes for these motherfuckers to eat that shit.
Maybe so. I'm just talking about whatever the ritualistic bullshit, like wearing robes and setting people, the sacrifice and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's fucking weird.
You don't think it's weird? Like all of a sudden, you had these celebrities, they making their money, they got hits, and then all of a sudden, they just kind of hit a ceiling, and then they just there, and then all of a sudden, somebody die.
Well, maybe the death thing. I'll give you that one because at the end of the day, everybody has their what's the word I'm looking for? They have like their reputations to protect, right?
Right.
So, like, especially like with hip hop, of course, hip hop is supposed to be the super hyper masculine bravado, you know what I'm saying, and this, that, and the other. And I've always heard, you know, this is hearsay. I don't know how true it is, but you always hear these stories about these rappers that really be doing some weird shit behind closed doors. So, in order for them to stay successful and not fuck up, it's like it's not even about them staying successful, but it's just about them, like, I guess, basically protecting their reputation and protecting their safety, right? Is that they can't say anything. So it's like, oh, you done got mashed by a record executive, but you just got paid $200 million. So you stuck between a rock and a hard place. So it's like, oh, I got this money, I'm successful, but I can't talk nothing because he's gonna be like, all right, fine. If you talk, nigga, I'm gonna rip your money from you and possibly kill you. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have to do that. That's why when they play butt darts with these dudes, they record that shit. And they record that shit, so whenever you don't want to go with the grain, they be like, okay, cool, go and do what you need to do. They say, that sex tape come out. Now you're getting butt plugged everywhere, and everybody talking about you. So now your street cred gone and all of that shit. So that's for security. But when I say about like all of a sudden somebody die and they shit go up, because now you got a new song you can come out with about that person. It's gonna go to the top of the charts because people want to hear what you got to say and they feel bad for you. You get interviewed. You know what I'm saying? You get interviewed. You get all of that shit. You get a movie possibly. You get all kind of stuff off of somebody dying.
No, it's true because I mean that did happen with. Fuck it, whatever. We all talk about it. That's what happened with Diddy. That's exactly what happened with Diddy. When Big died, Diddy all of a sudden he started making songs and all this other stuff, and Bad Boy went to a whole different level. Like when Biggie was around,
was probably one of the highest songs. One of the
when Biggie was around, Bad Boy was. It was cool. They were, you know what I'm saying? They were cool. They had Big, they had Craig Mack, they had a couple other artists, and they was making their money. But when he died, it was like they took over the fucking world there for a minute. So, but and I guess he's kind of like a prime example because now it's like slowly starting to come out that there are allegations of him being secretly homo. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no homophobe talk. It's just reality. It's just reality and what you see. The Drink Champs interview, right? When he popped up drunk. When he popped up drunk with Fabulous and was it Kiss?
Yeah, and he was telling Fab, he was like, "Why you don't party with me?" And he was like, He's like, nah, why you don't party with me?
He was acting like mad. He was acting like mad strange on that episode. You know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday, bro. It was strange.
Yeah, like he was Marilyn Monroe or some shit like that. So it was just on some weird shit. But
like he wanted to do that to me. It was weird as shit.
Yeah, and you could tell because when Fabulous was sitting there talking, you could tell he was like mad uncomfortable. He was just like,
but they was on his channel, so
yeah, because he was just like he was kind of smiling through it, like, all right, nigga, like, can you please stop, nigga? This is weird.
Yeah, but, and Nori wasn't doing nothing but egging that shit on.
Me and Nori a goddamn instigator.
Yeah,
he ain't nothing but a fucking instigator, but. Nah, but like there have been like there's been speculation, like it's like recent speculations that's coming out, just basically saying like he might be on some weird shit. But that goes, I guess that's what it's all about when we bring it back to like the whole Illuminati shit. You got all these guys who are trying to have this image of themselves, and it's like, nah, but we're gonna do the fun shit, behind closed doors.
Right.
So, and that part I can honestly say. I don't want to say it's true because I honestly don't know, but I can find that very what's the word I'm looking for? Not even suspicious, but it's plausible that it could be true. You know what I mean? Because you hear it so many times, and I'm not talking about just from people on the street. I'm talking about people who happen to be in the industry. You know, they don't go into detail about it. They just be like, yeah, it's some weird shit, and it's people that you wouldn't expect, you know what I'm saying, doing all that weird shit. So, like, I remember Nori explained it best. He was talking about an interview. He was talking about he said, there's like 3 doors, metaphorically. It was like, if you go to the left, there's all this money, fame, power, and all this, but you got to do this in order to get it.
Yeah.
There's the door to the right, where it's just like, you just said, you know what, I'm going to tell it all. We're going to fuck your career up. And he was just like, oh, you go straight ahead and you just kind of do you and just let whatever happen. Whatever's meant for you is just meant for you. So I can kind of see that. Because when you think about it, all the artists that you see talking about this shit be the ones that really ain't on the forefront. You heard their names, you know of them, but their careers ain't pop off. You know what I mean? Like they should have.
Yeah.
So
because you got people who had talent, they had the songs, they had all that stuff, and I guess when they didn't want to cooperate, songs go to everybody else, and they just get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, man. That's some weird shit. That's all I got to say. But when you really think about it, not even just in music, but just like entertainment, period. Like you just got to think, like
how some of these comedians that just jump up to the top off of one stand-up.
Yeah. It's just like,
because Kevin Hart not funny, but it is what it is. He had that his first special he did. I thought it was funny, and after that, it's like he did the same thing over and over and over. He's the same guy in every movie, and it's just not funny. He tries too hard, and he kissed the Rock in the mouth all the time.
He did what?
He kissed the Rock in the mouth all the time.
What?
They always be kissing in the mouth.
Oh, I ain't never seen it, but
they do it in your face, and it's supposed to be comedy. It's part of that ritual shit.
That could be. Kevin Hart is one of them type of people, man. Like, I mean, his shows are funny. I actually went to one of his shows, and I ain't gonna lie, I laughed my ass off. That was it was Irresponsible, the Irresponsible tour. It was funny. The thing about Kevin Hart to me though is that I think he kind of plays that game. You know what I mean? He plays that game. Like I was actually talking about it with Adrian one day at a restaurant. We was talking about like comparing him to Dave Chappelle. Like no, not in terms of talent, but like as far as like who's being real and who's not. Because comedians are supposed to be the ones. Comedians are supposed to be the ones, society relies on to go out there and just tell the truth.
Right.
And so we were basically saying like, okay, does Kevin Hart tell the truth or does Dave Chappelle tell the truth? We were like, I was put my money on Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Because Dave Chappelle don't give a fuck. He don't mind getting booed. He don't mind all that stuff. We see it. We see it happen to him. If he says some shit that rub people the wrong way, he just be like, fuck it, I said it. You know,
and then they still go watch the next special he did.
They go watch the next special. Which I think that's very honorable. I don't think you would get that out of an artist like Kevin Hart. Like, I feel like Kevin Hart, he will only tell the truth about his particular life. And even in that, he's probably going to give you so much of it, but like his hand is too deep in the money at this point right now. To where it's like, I gotta try to walk that line of trying to be me, but I still got to please them in order to be able to stay successful. So,
because somebody's doing this to his butt cheeks, so you can't talk about him right now.
Maybe, I don't know, but that's
they always wait until they get old and want to tell the truth, and it's after they made all the money and shit. It's kind of crazy.
But you don't rely on the artist to hear the truth. You gotta fuck with the people around the artist. That's how they get rich. It's the people who see what the artists are doing. They may not always see it with their eyes. Okay, let's say Diddy, for example, right? Because we were talking about him earlier. They were talking about like how it's alleged that he basically be having booty sex with a lot of guys, right? I think it was a bodyguard or something that he used to work with or he works with, and he was like, one night some dude, he took some dude into a hotel room and Puff was just like, hey, whatever you do, like, don't let nobody in.
Don't let nobody. I saw that one, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And old dude was just like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but it's a private space. What the fuck is doing in there? So he just kind of put it all together, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they was in there getting it on.
You need to watch a lot of that dude interviews. And the bad part about it is he tells a lot, but then some things that he tells is kind of like, all right, nigga, you pushed it a little too far.
So he embellishing a bit?
Some things, so it kind of makes it hard for you to believe everything he say. And they can use that against him or whatever and be like, man, listen to what he just said.
But
so
see, okay.
Things.
But here's my thing. Okay. Give me an example. Just give me one quick example so I can reply.
I mean, I'd have to go back through some. I've seen a whole bunch of them, and it's been a while. Okay. But I remember that one particular when you brought it up that he was like, "Don't let nobody in this room," and he was like, "Okay, well, that's what I'm getting paid for," and he wouldn't let nobody in there, even his wife or old lady or whatever,
Well, my thing is that it could sound far-fetched, but that's the whole thing is that it's Hollywood, it's entertainment. Right. And I just feel like to get a rise, just being a human, right? Once you become super celebrity status or whatever, you can only do so much drugs and partying and all this other stuff to get a rise and get a thrill out of life. Once you've done all that and you've gotten bored, what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like,
bro.
Whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is, what's the next thing? You know what I mean? So are the stories really that far-fetched? It may sound silly, but you got to think about these guys are like, they've done everything. And we've talked about it before, but like they've done everything. So it's just like, all right, well, I guess the next thing to do is go fuck a dude. You know what I'm saying? So
I haven't tried that before. No,
I ain't never tried that before.
It's never gonna cross my mind to be like, huh, I wonder.
And I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't think everybody in entertainment does that. There are people who are very real to themselves, and they, like I watch a lot of Method Man videos, and Method Man, he said, he just be like, man, I roll by myself. I don't have no entourage. I'm an everyday dude. I just happen to have a little bit of, I got a couple dollars on me, but I go to work, I come home, I spend time with my family, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that there's a few people out there that, well, actually, it may be majority of them, but it's the ones. It's those very flashy, big-headed, like celebrities, like the ones who own that title. Diddy. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just been watching him and doing interviews and stuff like that, and he's a weird dude, man. he's a weird dude. Like the last Breakfast Club interview.
Talking about half the time.
Yeah, but it's just like the last Breakfast Club interview I watched him in. I don't know if it was his last one. I know it was very recent, but they were talking about like marriage and all this other stuff. And it was just like, hey, when you gonna settle down and get married? And he gonna say some bullshit on like, I'm just not ready to be married. Motherfucker, you 50 years old. You have a career that's spanned right at 30 years. Yeah. You're a billionaire. You know what I mean? What the fuck is stopping you from getting married? Like, you don't have to work ever again for the rest of your life if you don't want to. And I get it. If you want to have that grind, go for it. But you sound like you 50 and you sound like a fucking 20-year-old. Like, nigga, grow the fuck up.
I know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't make that kind of money, and I'm trying to get married, man. I'm trying to find me a spouse.
It was just crazy, but he was engaged to Cassie for like.
I'm trying to find me a
Cassie for a woman. But he was engaged. Yeah. He was engaged to Cassie for damn near 10 years. So you ain't ready, nigga? Like, after all that, even after you broke up with J-Lo, you made that old whack ass song. Like, that
shit was trash, man.
Oh, Pimp C. Oh, yeah, Pimp C.
Yeah, we know Pimp C would never.
Pimp C would never.
But that's why Pimp C didn't get the same type of fame.
Pimp C was too real for the industry.
They couldn't allow him. They couldn't allow him to be just live on interviews like that.
He was too real for the industry. You couldn't put him in front of DJ Vlad because he gonna tell it. He gonna tell everything. I couldn't see a conversation between him and Lord Jamar would be the most interesting thing to ever witness. Because Lord Jamar, he another one that don't give a fuck. Like, he just don't give a fuck. But Pimp C did not give a fuck. But that was the thing that we loved about Pimp C. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because
when it came to UG, he kept it 100% all the time. And that's what I liked about him. Like, I mean, I love Bun B as an artist, but Pimp C kept the spirit of UGK alive, man. He just wasn't for the bullshit. If it was on his mind, it didn't have to go through no filters. It was whatever was on his mind just came out, spit it right on out. So yeah, he would be the one talking about, yeah, that boy's over there playing booty boys and all this. Like, he would say some crazy shit like that.
He said what he said. Y'all remember that pastor got caught in the truck with that little boy?
Caught with the little boy. Mace got caught with the little boy in Atlanta. Yeah, Pimp C would never. That's look. I ain't finna. I hate to go back into that thing, but that might be. I'm just saying, might be why we in the situation we in right now with Pimp C.
Hey, man, he was a little too live for them boys.
He was too real for the industry, man. But I guess. Anyway, man, we've been on for what, an hour?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and call it a wrap this time around. It has been a great conversation. You got any shout outs you want to give anybody?
Big shout out to Crystal. You know what I'm saying? Big sis, what's happening? Want to give another shout out to Miss Sean. She knows she is. Appreciate you, Joe. He been holding it down with us this whole, you know what I'm saying, whole episode.
Hey. Joe, you know what? Yeah, Joe really has been supporting the podcast big time. Like, on Facebook and everywhere. Like he always comes through. And what I like what Joe said something on Facebook one time on one of our posts, and this is what I appreciate about it because he gets the premise of it.
Yeah,
was that because we would have like the conversations me and you were having this kind of shit we used to talk about at work, just this random ass weird shit. But he was just like, I'm glad that somebody's out here talking about like shit that other people would otherwise not talk about because these are conversations. And that's what the beauty of the podcast is about. Like I said, it's a conversation about nothing because a conversation about nothing is literally a conversation about any and everything. Yeah. So, you ain't got to talk about politics and finances all the time to be an adult, have an adult conversation. Let's talk about some bullshit because it's a conversation. So, yeah, man. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate that, man. Really appreciate your support. So anybody else?
Yeah, man. Brent Hill, I am wearing shades because I've been having a cold for a couple of days and my eyes are puffy. That's why I'm wearing these goddamn shades, Brent. Yeah. So just go ahead and let you know. But yeah, man, appreciate you watching though.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate your support. All right. Yeah, thanks again, Crystal. Our number one fan, man. She always kind of jump right on it whenever we put the clips out. We put the episodes out. She was one of the first ones to put on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the websites and all that good stuff. So we definitely appreciate her. She's our one patron.
Yeah, holding it down.
So holding it down, man. You know what I'm saying? We got us a little bit of a budget right now. We're just trying to build on it to make the podcast a little better, make things a little easier for y'all to listen and just do some things for y'all. Oh, and this is what we're gonna do. Like how we did today when we did the live podcast, we will do this once a month to go live to kind of let you guys get in and see what we're talking about out here. Because I know a lot of times you gotta wait an entire week to actually watch it. So hey, if you really enjoyed it, if you watched it this time, or if you watch any of the early ones and you want to kind of come in and chime in and hey, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Just chat.
Yeah, we'll put the links up and
we'll bring you on in. So just to kind of stay afloat with that, man, y'all make sure that y'all do follow us on all platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. So we can kind of let y'all know when we go live. But all in all, if you do support the show, if you really enjoyed the show, if you watched it before, be sure to go ahead and hit the Patreon account down in the link below. That's how you can support us financially so we can go ahead and keep creating content, start bringing better content for you guys to enjoy. Oh, another shout out. Coffee Word, Becky. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
That's kinfolk right there. Thank you, Becky. Definitely appreciate your support. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, other than that, if you really did enjoy the podcast, and say for instance you don't want to hit the Patreon account, hey, this is what we need y'all to do. If you watch this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We are cool 65 subscribers deep right now. It is a free thing. It don't cost you a dime. Do not skip that subscribe button. You've been watching the content anyway. Stay up to date. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Also,
it's free.
Hit that like button. Share these videos. If you agree or if you disagree or agree with what we're talking about, put it in the comments. We want to hear what you guys have to say. So let's chop it up. On YouTube, go down to the link below if you want to get get merchandise. We do have a t-shirt available that's dope as fuck, man. Go get that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you are a Patreon, you actually get the t-shirt on a discounted rate. So that's another thing.
You get that big discount, man. We adults, we love discounts.
We love discounts. And in these hard times, discounts are beautiful. What else?
Oh,
is that yeah, so I got one too, but it's not with me. So
yeah,
the next time I go home to Beaumont, I'm gonna go pick it up. But y'all make sure that y'all hit us up, man, to get that merch. So is there am I missing anything?
No, Steve, you know what this is, man. That's that
the vape.
Elf yeah.
What's Elf Bar?
It's a vape.
What flavor is it?
This is grape energy.
Grape energy?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's pretty goddamn tasty.
Yeah. Wait. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but that was fucking strange.
It's pretty.
It was awkward. Was it awkward?
No,
It was a little awkward. It felt awkward. Maybe I'm making it awkward.
you did.
No, I guess. Oh man. Okay.
Hey, Mom.
Another shout out. My mom just popped in. Shout
What's
out
up,
to
Mom?
Madeline about she in. Shout out to my mama. We got to shout out mama
man.
because she's the reason we here anyway, like in general,
Goddamn
like
right.
on Earth.
Thank you for giving us life, man.
So we definitely got to shout her out. But I think that's just about it.
Yeah.
So is that it?
That's about it,
I
man.
feel like I'm missing something.
Nah.
I'm not missing anything.
Nope.
Because I'm gonna think about it for like 3 days if I am missing something. But anyway, whatever. All right, guys. Yeah. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and we appreciate you guys for checking us out. We have been Super Hadnot Bros. I am the Nocturnist. I'm here with Kinfolk, and until next time, we will catch y'all. Peace.